Keep an eye on these cards with that new Labyrinth card, because there's a lot of pesky interactions out there, and, well, I guess this would be the top 10 best interactions that I can think of so far. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Aras content. So we're going to be starting off with at least the definition of the Arias Labyrinth Butler over here. We already made a video talking about this on Card of the Day. But the thing that makes this card so good is the first effect of during the main phase, your or your opponent's. You can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard to either special summon a Labyrinth monster or to set a normal trap from your hand. And if you set a trap, you can activate it this turn. That's right. You can, so if you are going second, so on turn 0 of the game, which is your opponent, hypothetically, I love the definition of that, but if your opponent wins the dice roll and goes first, we now have a way to access any normal trap card via the opponent's turn. I once again repeat that. Any normal trap card. So you can only imagine the amount of cute little interactions that we're about to talk about in this video and things that are probably going to excite you. The card does other things, but we don't care about that. First one's going to be Eradicator Epidemic Virus. Oh boy, the cornerstone of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players going home and crying that the game is broken, that they hate the game. It's amazing because this card's been around for 10 plus years and now it's just starting to be an issue. Thank you, Labyrinth, for this. So there is a way with Arias and the lovely Labyrinth, or whatever it is, to be able to Eradicator your opponent on turn 0 of the game. So you can set the Eradicator, and then you've evidently done something. I don't know the full interaction. Somebody keeps telling me it's like 3 cards in order to do it, but evidently the fact that you can do this is very, very interesting to me. And I will say this, Yu-Gi-Oh! You've got a lot of things to consider out here for massive power creep, but I'm starting to kind of wander into the realm of maybe we should get rid of Eradicator at this point in time, because, you know, it's just kind of turning into an entire nuisance, and it's just mainly people complaining about it at this stage. Next up is Dinomorfia Frenzy. You know, if you can pull this off, so your opponent goes first, you do the Labyrinth, you set Frenzy on your opponent's turn, you pay half, you go ahead and you roll on out Kingrina, and you go ahead and you banish, and then congratulations, you've now got Kingrina set up next to the Rexstrum. The fact that you can Rexstrum your opponent on, you know, the opposite turn 0 is, I actually do think that this is pretty hilarious at the end of the day. Now, once again, I mean, a lot of these interactions are going to come down to, you know, like, what is going to be the maximum best value that you can get out of this? Because, I mean, a lot of this stuff is going to be a little bit gimmicky, and, I mean, congratulations to Dinomorfia players. You did get the chance to kind of, you know, eat pretty well today, in my personal opinion. So, we'll take that, right? Like, any sort of dub that you get, you'll take. Next up is Dreaming Town. Ah, boy, who doesn't want to be able to end pen the opponent on turn 0 of the game? And anybody want to be able to end pen? Well, you can actually do so now with this. Basically, you discard, set this, activate this, and then congratulations, you have a Rabina, you're off to the races, and your opponent has to deal with an end pen on turn 0 of the game. It's actually kind of insane that you're able to, you know, do this. But once again, I mean, what do I know? Yu-Gi-Oh's broken. And then, I mean, we're also going to include free range monsters in here as well, because this is also during the main phase after this effect resolves. Normal summon or set a monster. Is also kind of, you know, jumbles into the same category of things here that you got to be aware of. And that's just what we're looking at here. Kudos to giving us additional normal summon fodder on the opponent's turn. I don't know. I mean, I could deploy a Fossil Dino or a Barrier Statue during my opponent's turn. Right. That seems like it would be something that you would really want to have fun with. Next up here is Exosister Vax. Now, this is where things, I think, kind of start to get a little bit interesting, because it's just pay 800, choose an Exosister from your hand, and then take another Exosister from the deck that is mentioned on that card and special summon both. Shuffle them in during the end phase after it resolves, and you cannot special summon blah 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 from the extra deck for the rest of this turn. Basically, anything that would involve touching the graveyard here, I do think is something that you do need to be a little bit scared of. I don't know, once again, you know, if Exosister is going to want to play this, that's for sure, but, I mean, take it what it is with a grain of salt. I mean, it's another interaction that you'd be able to cheese out. I mean, once again, you still got to open up. A lot of these are like turning into like 2 to 3 card combos because you still have to see Arias and you still have to see the trap in your hand to set. So those are really big things to consider. But once again, we get back to the, we can do this. This is one of my favorites, Banquet of Millions. This is the thing that lets you banish any number of cards from your extra deck face down and then banish the same number of monsters, or same number of random face down cards from your opponent's extra deck face up until the end of this turn. If you're playing Grand Manju here, I know, we're reaching here, alright? We're reaching. If your opponent's playing Grand Manju, or you're playing Grand Manju, you yeet all 15 cards of your extra deck out. Your opponent eats all 15 cards of their extra deck out. Now, they get them back until at the end of the turn. You do not. But that is 15 cards loaded up for you to be able to have access to be able to play the game with. And I personally think that that's actually kind of insane for the things that you can do to kind of look at your opponent and go, look at me. This is my game now. I do know that somebody will come up with some combo for this on turn 1 of the game. It's not going to be consistent, but man, oh man, is it going to be hilarious just to watch. Some people rage quit at the fact that you can actually do this. Next up is Trickstar Reincarnation. Wait a minute, Robbie, we can Reincarnation our opponent during their turn? Yeah, you can draw Reincarnation your opponent on their turn, on the first turn of the game. How consistent is it going to be, though? That's where we get back into, the other prime discussion here of, hey, is this worth it? Are we dedicating all these? Once again, you have to open up Arias, Reincarnation, and a Draw and Lockbird. That's 3 cards. You got to understand, if you're going into your turn, you're playing on 3 cards. The 2 you've already got in your hand, plus your draw for turn. That's still leaving you on 3 cards to fully count. I mean, to be fair, your opponent's probably not going to have anything left after the Reincarnation or, whatever they normal summoned. Example, if a Luber's normal and they search, the Doohickey, and then you slam down Value Town. You've got a lot to really consider there as well. But once again, this is all the hilarious little interactions that you get out of this card's existence. Definitely not going to happen all that much, but you can do it. Next up is Void Feast. Now, this is another one of my my favorite 3-card combos in the whole wide world, because you have to send a Void spell or trap card from your hand or face up in the field to the graveyard. Just about to summon up to 3 Infernoids from the deck, whose total level equal 8. Well, here's the thing. You have to open up Arias to be able to set this. You have to have this, and then you have to have a Void spell or trap already in the hand to bring this out. But to be fair, if you're able to roll this out, your opponent's not stopping you. Like, there is nothing they are doing. You are going to full Pound Town with this. This is like full crazy combo. This is one of the best, I think, results you can have until you get ashed. And then you're like, thanks for playing. I appreciate it. I'll take my neg 3. I tried to combo you, and I got punished for it. That is all that there is to it. And that is the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, ladies and gentlemen. All the value that you tried to put up just gets broken down quite automatically. Next up is the other problem that people are upset about, and it's Dimensional Barrier here. Now, let's be honest here. Being able to turn 0 your opponent on the Dimensional Barrier is insane, actually. Hey, you're playing Albaz, declare fusion. Oh, you can't do anything? Alright, cool. I'll take my turn now. Ending them on, they activate Branded Fusion, you do this, they're cut off. There's nothing else to really say about it. The whole reasoning behind this is actually insane. The fact that they actually allowed Dimensional Barrier to kind of creep up at this stage to, get this broken is wild to me. And once again, I understand, maybe it's not the craziest interaction in the world, or, it blanks the turn on a 2-card interaction because, it's still a 2-card dedication to this, but I think that's insane. That really is saying something about the game right now. Now, this next one is one of my favorites. It's Penalty Game. Now, for those of you that don't remember Penalty Game, activate when your opponent has 4 cards in their hand. All right, now that is only 4 cards. No more, no less. Your opponent cannot draw during the next draw phase, all right? Or your opponent can activate spells and traps this turn. Now, full disclaimer, I don't think that this is all that crazy good. I think this is just one of those funny ha-ha interactions that you can actually do to laugh at your opponent, and they're like, what am I supposed to do to this? Like, you actually pulled this off. But, you know, I'm assuming that they'll have done one interaction, they'll be down to 4 cards in hand, and then at this stage you penalty game them, and they're like, well, you know, I can't play spells and traps for the rest of the game. It gives you that turn blank skip that you get with Dimensional Barrier. Once again, I do preface very, very easily here that this is not one of the things that I highly recommend. Now, the last one we're going to talk about here is our favorite trap in the whole wide world. It turns into any other trap in the whole wide world. Trap Trick. Now, the reason why, you got to toss it in here, because with Arias, Trap Trick turns into any copy of anything that we've mentioned in this video. Turns into any of the normal traps in the game right now. And I think that's going to be a very interesting interaction in and itself, because once again, the existence of this means that we're now technically playing 3 Arias, 3 of the other trap, and then any other trap interaction that we potentially need, plus deck thinning going into our turn, which is pretty solid. So yeah, congratulations. Keep an eye on these cards. Something might go topsy-turvy in the market, and that's why we're here. So what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.